Everybody here, it's Soda! Welcome back to Scout Only MvM. Trying to get that Australian drop again this week. If you're new to the series, quickly go over the rules. They are Scout Only. We cannot leave the mission unless 2 or more players have left. We can't keep your missions in progress. We're not buying any resistances. We're not buying any canteens. We're not refunding any of our upgrades we have purchased. And we are not allowed to communicate with teammates other than voice commands. Quickly, let's get over the question of the day here. Last week I had asked, what's the worst MvM teammate/teammate archetype you've ever encountered? I got a lot of responses to this. It was difficult to pick one, but I think I'm self-reporting somewhat when I say this one from Dollar Stupid. He says, griefers, idle meds, idiot heavies, pyros, and NGs. And that is a bit of a toxic response, but I can't help but agree. Idle meds, not a very helpful way of playing the class. You know, at least if you're going to play medic and you're not going to be shield bashing, you should spam crits, you should spam canteens on your teammates. Idiot heavies, pyros, and NGs, yeah, those classes can be burdensome if they're not played to a very high degree. Maybe engineer a little less so. All he has to do is plop down his buildings, even if they're not in a good spot. But yeah, I'm showing myself to be a bit of a toxic person when I'm trying, you know, not to be by picking that comment, but I just agree with it. For this week's question, though, we have, what's your favorite TF2 map? MvM or otherwise? Like me personally, I'd have to say Gravel Pit is my famous. It's the first TF2 map I ever played. All the way back in, what, 2014? I don't know. Maybe 2013. And I have a lot of fond memories on that map. But to the gameplay, we're starting here on Empire Escalation. It was pretty easy, this mission. We had an 80-odd tour demo. He's doing the Scottish Resistance one-shot strategy. It's not very fun to play with, but this guy wasn't like the best with it. You know, he was doing it a lot. You know, he was one-shotting a lot of bots, a lot of giants, killing a lot of groups of giants, but I've seen more egregious examples of that play style. And it's not great to play with, but you know. Also trying out the backscatter this tour, not the entire tour, but somebody on Discord had told me that it one-shots Uber medics with 1 damage tick upgrade, and I wanted to experiment with that. I didn't get the chance to on this mission, obviously, because we had a Scottish Resistance demo man just killing all the medics, despite me trying my best. Even they're trying, but didn't work out. We tried it next mission though. We pulled it off. I think it would be a very good thing for me to keep open. I can even just, you know, swap to the weapon, buy 1 damage tick upgrade, just spend the $400 and maybe, you know, pick medics if a team is struggling with it. But for the most part, I gotta pick my primaries before the lobby really starts, and I've got to commit to it because I'm going to be putting a lot of money into my primary. But I had a lot of fun with this weapon. It's different than, you know, the break action scatterguns that you normally see in MvM, because the scattergun is pretty weak. You don't ever use that. But this one has scattergun-like mechanics, and it's quite powerful. I was enjoying it. I feel like I did a lot of damage with it. I didn't really pay attention to how much damage I did in this mission, but it would have been a moot point if I had. The demo would have outshined us very much. It's a pretty expensive scattergun to upgrade. It has, you know, every possible metric you could want to upgrade available to upgrade. You know, you have reload speed, you know, the shortstop even doesn't have reload speed. It reloads its whole clip at once, has firing speed and damage and clip size, of course, so it ends up being pretty expensive to ramp up, but you know, once you do, it's pretty good. Speaking of upgrading, the pathing too, I was struggling with a little bit. Wasn't quite sure how I wanted to go about buying all these upgrades for this scattergun, you know, how I wanted to pace it, you know, damage versus clip size versus firing speed versus reload speed. I'd have to play with it more to see how I personally prefer it being upgraded. You know, this is something That's definitely a personal preference, but so far from what I have played with it, it probably would upgrade firing speed last and the other 3 metrics first. It just tends to work out. You're not often holding down left mouse. I mean, and when you are, you know, you still have a decent enough firing speed and tons of damage with the mini critted back shots. Pile of dead scouts there. A little gruesome. But after we kill these medics, we'll finish off wave 3. Moving into wave 4. This mission, little dull overall. It's going a little quickly because of the one-shot demo. I think this is the first true like one-shot. We've seen other people attempt it in the series thus far, but this is the first one who's pulling it off to a larger degree. You will see later on, you know, he just will delete heavies and medics and soldiers, and you know, there's no chance for anybody to get any damage in otherwise. But yeah, he wasn't extremely oppressive. There he goes, just blowing them up. For some reason the kill feed bugging out a little bit there, showing normal stickies. He was definitely using the Scottish resistance. Our favorite samurai demos, even these guys he will one-shot from time to time and not let me have the fun and beauty and grace of fighting these guys as they float into the sky. Failing a milk there, trying to get the heavy some help. I really do need to work on my milk timing more. It's hard to get it right without just outright spamming it. You don't want to spam it because it has a pretty long cooldown, and if you mistime it, you know, you might not get help for a person who will need it at a later date. But you know, that's just something that you need to get with time. But later on in this tour, I'm going to swap with not running milk at all. I'm going to pick up the Criticola of my own personal crit canteen. Mostly for the tanks because I saw that scout doing it on steel trap, but I do experiment with using it on some giants too. But yeah, we'll get there when we get there. This tour a little bit front loaded. It's got both our Manhattan missions back to back, then both our Rottenburg missions back to back. So we won't see any tanks for a minute here, but we will kind of soon because we're blowing through this mission. Here on wave 5, just a bunch of scouts to take care of for the most part, and the demo going to be doing a lot of work to them. He doesn't do, you know, he doesn't kill absolutely everything. Later on we'll get some significant damage here and on these black box soldiers as they drop in. Just look at the backscatter go. 250, 270 damage a shot. We got the firing speed upgraded now too, so we're doing large chunks of damage to these guys. Definitely a weapon I need to swap to more often, you know, just for the sake of variety if nothing else, but it seems pretty good too. But like I said earlier, really good if there's we need a medic picker on the team and you know, nobody else wants to play something that can really one-shot, and if I can just one-shot those medics. It is a little bit tricky to do. Like I said, I pull it off next mission, but you gotta take your time, and a lot of times teams that don't have medic pickers are not going to give you that time that you need, and I can't just tell people to wait for the medics. I mean, they should implicitly know to wait for the medics, but oftentimes they don't. So it can be a little bit tricky, but not too bad. Heavy rain here coming down on wave 5. It is nice to not have a pyro. This whole tour, we didn't have a whole lot of pyros. They must have been hibernating or something, and I don't think I saw one can of gas thrown. Really, really, really refreshing. That must have been the day of the week I was playing. I don't know. Well, this mission was played on a different day than the other 3, so yeah, they just must be in hibernation. They must have bellies full of fish and they're in some cave or something. That's what I imagine the accommodations for a pyro player are. We're about to finish wave 5 here. We've got 8 bonk scouts left. I'm just gonna do my thing and Just let them run all over me and let the demo take care of them, because of course he's going to. Bam. Wave 6. We have 1 giant heal on kill heavy, 5 giant heal on kill heavies, and 5 regular heavies. The demo this time, me struggling to... Oh yeah, I forgot. I got that achievement. Apparently not a lot of people fully upgrade their primary, even though some of the primaries are really cheap to upgrade, but neat little achievement there. Apparently a rare one, less than 10% of people getting it. But we start out on wave 6 here. I'm going to be careful not to die to this heavy. I'm the most squishy on the team already, and especially squishy with no resistances. Finding a cosmetic there, I kind of blew by it. I was locked in, and I, just expected to get a weapon. So I was surprised when I realized, like, wait, that's a hat. And it's a scout hat, and it's laden with money. That's karmic right there. Maybe that's a sign that we'll get an Australium soon. But yeah, cool little hat. The giant heal and kill heavy caps the gate. I don't know if our demo just kind of let it happen, or if he died or somebody else died and wasn't able to kill him very quickly. Maybe he just prefers to fight here, but it's no big deal. We're going to let the direct hit soldiers walk out. I'm going to try and one-shot some medics, but fail a little bit. Now the heavies are coming out now that the soldiers are dead, and the wave is basically finished. All we got to do is kill these guys. They have a lot less health than the first heavy, and they heal a lot less if they do kill you. But yeah, wave basically over. We'll breeze by these guys. What I will admire, how much damage I am truly doing to them. 1,700, 2,000 at a time. Pretty good stuff. Just 4 more. Also enjoying projectile penetration still on the scatter guns. If nothing else, they allow you to shoot robots through your teammates, which can sometimes block your shots at closer ranges. You'll see that in the kill feed from time to time. We finish up mission 1, Empire Escalation once again. Checking out everybody's drops. That guy getting a 3rd box. Will it be an Australium? No. No Australium for him. It is a flying guillotine fab. Does not sound very good. Well, nobody else getting anything special. We're going to take our robot parts here and put them in our specialized fist kit that we got however long ago. I think from episode 5 or something. But here we are again on Manhattan, Metro Malice. The mission only putting us in with 5 players at first. I guess somebody disconnected before I joined in. I ready up anyway because I'm thinking this is a strong team. We've got a 200 Tor heavy. That demo had 200 Tors. I guess he just didn't want to play without an NG. You're being a little bit snobby there, but we commit anyway. We're not worried about it. Just some samurai demos to begin with. And with nobody being too greedy with the ammo packs, the heavy can keep up his minigun fire. But yeah, we're doing very well so far with only 4 players, but we get annihilated there. And the gate A begins to get captured, and there's nothing we can really do about it. But by the time it is getting captured, we have 2 more players joining in at the same time, and all we have to do is just kind of stabilize before they get here. Gonna take out the medics while they are asleep. That soldier was quite low on health by the time he killed either of us. So now we kill the 2nd soldier. And the rest of the team is here now, and we've completely stabilized. The mission is saved. 4 giants left now and a bunch of medics, but our team has no medic pickers besides myself, and I am definitely not practiced enough in it to get 24 of them. This team probably would not allow me to do so anyway. Even though this is an experienced team, they're just not going to wait that long for him to march forward, and he's still going to shoot while we're waiting for the medics to die. So I'm going to take out as many as I can, pop the others. And this guy's going to get pretty far. It's nothing very alarming, but it is a little bit troublesome to get them to go down finally. I'm gonna do some nice maneuvering here. I didn't know you could land on this part of this crate here that I land on. It's fortunate. I probably would have gotten splashed by the crits otherwise, but the soldier gets me anyway and I crater to death. They kill him while I'm dead and we come back. The second soldier's coming out. He's getting popped too, but I'm gonna get a nice body block in. And he's going to fail to get me with his barrage of crits. What a fool. You suck at the game, dude. But we kill him. We complete the wave. We're on wave 2 now. We have 6 players. Gonna get some clip size, some damage, some reload speed. That seems pretty good right there, doesn't it? Starting off wave 2. I'm going to do the right thing. I'm going to do my usual thing. I'm going to pay attention to these scouts as they walk around. You know, I'm expecting the team to be able to take care of them pretty quickly. But it's still important that I stay with them. Can still keep up with the scouts despite me not buying movement speed yet. They run a little bit faster than default scout. Maybe I could buy 1 movement speed earlier on, but so far I've been enjoying buying none unless I need it for money collection purposes. Just sometimes the money gets spread too far apart and I need to run from here A to B more quickly than the default scout can, but I think that Steel Trap player was right, and you really don't need movement speed. So definitely eating my words there. But yeah, I'm enjoying it. And even if I am going to buy movement speed, something else this MvM Discord that I am suggested was maybe just buying 1 or 2 ticks of it, not buying all 3, because it can get a little bit difficult to hit your shots if you have 3 movement speed. You just move very, very quickly. Obviously you move quickly. You're buying movement speed. I don't know what the percentage of movement speed increase is. We're going to help out the team here with these extended backup soldiers. Our medic tried to crit the heavy earlier there. He does not know how the battalion's backup works. You can't crit those guys. Gonna narrowly survive this encounter here with my elite movement. Oh my gosh, so many rockets flying around. I'm gonna look for money up top, even though there's no money down there, dummy. There's nothing up there. But we live regardless. Pick up the money, get some health. Pick up the health pack, get some health. We're gonna stop this gate capture if we can. No, I'm just gonna ignore them and go get these snipers. They get gate A, but it's okay. There's just some pyros left. And they're going to steadily march out. Paying a lot of attention to me as always. Look at me, I'm out of your range and you're still shooting at me. You are annoying. They don't want to take those mini crit back shots. They're a little reluctant to, but we kill the last one here. We find ourselves on wave 3. Some more scouts for me to look out for. All of them are going to jump out from the beginning though, so I don't have to be too worried about them sneaking behind, minus the one that's going to come from up top. But our NG there seems like an experienced player. He's going to place his sentry in a clever little spot that blocks the scouts. They can still run past it, you know, they can jump over it or somehow get encouraged to move around it. But there is a spot down there, and so you just put the sentry by the wall, and the scouts for the most part can't run past it. But that's after all these scouts come out. We're going to kill the last one here, and now here is the Force of Nature scout up top. There's the NG blocking him. We kill him very quickly, so he doesn't have the chance to run around the sentry, but just be warned, they can do it, so you still need to pay attention even if you do have a high Tor NG, or you know, an NG that you know is doing well. KGB heavies dropping down. They do not want to take back shots either, but I can just outmaneuver them, and I have a ton of health. I'm going to play very aggressively here. Gonna experiment, or not experiment, but just exercise some circle strafing, which is something that I should do more as a scout. It's something a lot of people say that a scout should do, is draw aggro, because he is very good at circle strafing the robots. Any class can do it with movement speed, enough of it. Medics can do it, spies can do it, but scout as a default can do it without any movement speed upgrades. probably you want one at least to do it a little bit more easily. And he can do full DPS while circle strafing. A little bit less relevant since I'm using the backscatter and I can't do full DPS while I'm circle strafing, but it's definitely something I should do more than I already do. Wave 4, I had to go pee and I come back and the wave is just beginning and I'm struggling to get my upgrades here, struggling to buy them. Just run out there and start shooting the robot. It's not that complicated. Gonna get a lot of damage in on him here. He's looking at me, so I'm gonna try and dodge his rockets, but I can't do it. He air shots me with one rocket. All that skill. He definitely didn't have a whole barrage of them. Gonna help up top here with the super scouts. Trying to join this pack of Force of Nature scouts. You know, I saw my people. I wanted to join them, but they reject me. So I joined back on red team, and we'll kill them. Bye, guys. Later. We had a soldier also in this tour who would help out up top, so it's not 100% necessary for me to be up here, but I just definitely want to stay on top of the scouts. Something that I should have exercised in the next mission. I don't want to get too ahead of myself, though. Towards the end of wave 4 now, and we have a bunch of banner soldiers and heavies and medics. Gonna get in a lot of damage in on them too. The backscatter, just a very effective tool. I'm glad it got suggested to me, and it is something I should have done beforehand. You know, modify the loadouts more, just play with more stuff. You know, I guess most of my preconceptions were holdovers from when I was playing more of an idle scout playstyle. You know, idols being a derogatory term for somebody who doesn't do as much as they could. Last bit of wave 4 here. I've mentioned before that all of it is up top, and I think our NG should have known that. You know, he knew about the body blocking the scouts with your sentry, but he did not want to move his buildings up top. Perhaps he just didn't think the rest of the team would join him. Maybe he just prefers not to. I don't know, but I'm not going in that stairwell, so we just wait for the soldiers to walk on down. On to wave 5 here, we have the Liberty Launcher soldier, whatever his name is, I've already forgotten. Gonna get a lot of damage in on him as well. Try not to get knocked back in the meanwhile. Something I didn't realize with the shortstop is, I don't know when this happened. It probably happened 8 years ago or something, and I just didn't forget about it. You know, I played a long time with an older shortstop, but you get more knockback when you hold the shortstop. That's something I just never read that stat before. I don't know when it got added. Probably Jungle Inferno or something, if I had to guess. But I wasn't used to playing with that for a long time with the shortstop, even in MvM. So yeah, I don't know how much of a negative thing it truly is, but when fighting that guy, that Liberty Launcher soldier that knocks you back, it probably made things a little bit more difficult than it should have been. Blowing through the wave here, though, we've got 3 more demos left. They're probably going to have the giant medics attached to them. For now, we're having some mobbing. These Manhattan missions always dragging on the end a little bit. And now the medics drop. We're going to take care of them first, of course. Hopefully they don't pop. Kill him easily. Kill the demo attached to him. 2 more left. They're gonna stick out more bots though, more little bots, and just drag on the end. This demo, stealing the teleporter from me, is not an optimal thing to do. It's not only a little rude, you should always give your teleporter to the scout, because you know, you're gonna depend on me to collect money for the most part, and if I've died, you know, there's probably other kills happening and money being dropped. And it makes it a lot easier for me to keep up with the money the sooner I can get back. So that's just a little thing. This wave, end of this wave, almost looking like episode 5 with the ultimate pyro core. I was getting a little bit of PTSD there, but we save it. The medic somehow got detached from the demo, so it's only him standing left, and we finish it, and we're on to wave 6. Another wave laden with giants, but we have tons of money, so we're not going to worry too much about it. Starting off on our usual little cubby here. Getting in lots of back shots. Gotta be a little bit careful for these steel heavies. They will rush me just all of a sudden. But this soldier coming out alone. Gonna circle strafe him some because he just seems to be fixated on me. But I'm running low on ammo, so I'm gonna get that. As soon as I do, though, I'm gonna get annihilated by a crit rocket. But luckily I had a res there ready for me. We're gonna take care of him too. These soldiers really paying a lot of attention to me. Sometimes it can be difficult to get in a circle strafe if any bot aggroes you from too far. But for the most part, we stay pretty stable. We've got just a few giants left. 3 of them after we kill this one. There he goes. The constant support of huntsmen and demo knights raining in. Once again, I gotta be careful just running down and shooting these bots in the back because there's a lot of support bots around to thwart me, but death has never stopped me from making bad decisions, so I do it anyway. I commit. And here we are on the last pair of bots of the mission, shooting them in the back. Checking out everybody's loot. I got 6 boxes yet again. The norm for me. This guy completing his tour, getting nothing. Poor fella. This heavy with 200 tours, not completing his mission. This guy getting 3 boxes. Will he get an Australium? No, he won't. And I couldn't tell what it was. It was bugged. It wouldn't let me mouse over it and see. But nobody getting any loot. So these first 2 missions went very solidly, very well. But for the 3rd mission here, the game decided to spice it up a little bit for me, which I appreciate. I'm all for it. I'm gonna run the soda popper this time. I'm trying to figure out whether the soda popper or the shortstop truly does more damage. You go to the TF2 wiki and the soda popper does indeed do more damage than the shortstop, but it's hard to say when all the upgrades are taken into account because the shortstop just straight up shoots faster than the soda popper once you get the firing speed upgraded. So yeah, I'm just trying to kind of feel it out based on my own personal experience. I'm not going to be taking any numbers or making any test maps or anything to determine that. I'm just going to feel it out, play it by ear. I do love both primaries, but a lot of people were mentioning to me that the shortstop does less damage, and you know, both the video and the shorts I uploaded and whatnot, and I just can't help but think that these people are repeating what they've heard and they don't actually know, because when I first started playing MvM I was told that the shortstop does more damage, and clearly I'm just repeating what I've heard, right? So I don't know. I feel like the shortstop does do a lot of damage though, to tanks in particular. But I don't know, maybe that's just bias. But for this 3rd mission here, we have a rather talkative team of relatively lower tour players. Nobody was brand new, so it was a nice little balance between challenge and fun. But the team was definitely not the best. We got pushed back way past this choke here. Almost every wave. It made money collection pretty rough, pretty hard for me to keep up with. I do a decent enough job. I don't have any major misses. But it certainly wasn't easy. But I do a lot of damage this mission. We will find out at the end here. Dying a lot here at the end of this first wave. It doesn't dissuade me or discourage me at all. The mission was going fine despite us failing like that. But we didn't totally fail. We didn't totally fall apart. Everything stayed pretty alright. Wave 2 here, we're going to begin. These guys talking a lot. You know, it's fun when people talk in MvM. Even when I'm playing on my main account and I'm talking, a lot of people don't really respond to me for the most part. But it's always fun to play with people who are talking, whether in chat or voice, but voice in particular is fun. Gonna partake there in that heavy rain. Then we're gonna mob some huntsmen here before the pyro jumps down. These guys pretty fun to kill. All the bots are fun to kill. I'm always singling out bots that I think are fun to kill in mob. And I guess the ones that I think are the most fun to kill are the ones that can't kill me very easily, Huntsman being one of them. Even when they have crits, you know, they just have a hard time hitting scouts. And, you know, I've always said the same thing about KGB heavies being fun to kill, spies are fun to kill. And I just realized to myself just now that they are all bots that really have a hard time killing me. Heavy here making his way through the tunnel. I want to try and get a body block in, set it up, but nobody's there to really benefit from it, and he aggroes me anyway, so I'm gonna back out of that, pick up this ammo. All I can do is try and get some damage in. I know the crit soldiers are dropping up front, and the money's being dropped too, but we can't just let this guy march unimpeded. Gonna do my best to deal with him, but I die, so I'm gonna head to the front here and get this money right before it despawns. Well timed by me. I don't know exactly what the money despawn timer is. You know, it's not like I know it by heart. I just kind of feel it out, like a lot of things. But we've killed the last crit soldier. They made it all the way to the end of the map. Quite impressive. I don't see that a whole lot. But I guess the pyro and me were trying to take care of that heavy. So the rest of the team was probably just dying to the crit soldiers up front. But we killed the pyro. We end wave 2. We are on wave 3 with 3 giant scouts. And I said earlier I should have paid attention to scouts this mission a little bit more. We'll find out why in a moment. We're going to swap to Criticola for the first time this tour. Like I said before, I'm mostly doing it for the tank, but I'm also going to experiment too with just doing it to giants in general. It's a little bit risky for me to do so because I'm not buying crit resistances, and if I don't have a ton of health, I'm just going to get melted. But later on I kind of figure out that if the bots are shooting crits anyways, like if there's a giant crit shooting XYZ, you know, heavy soldier demo, whatever, I can drink the Criticola and I basically get no downsides of consuming it, because I'm gonna get annihilated by crits anyway. Chasing down the super scout there. The team was very worried about it. We hadn't lost the scouts yet at that point, but you know, they just probably inherently know that the scout's gonna run away and nobody's gonna pay attention to it. But luckily they do have me, and for the most part I do pay attention to scouts, but even I slip up sometimes, so it's good that they point it out for everybody. I'm gonna try and pick up this money here. They're begging me to pick up the money. I don't know what these guys are spending it on. They must be in massive debt, but they did not want to miss any money. I did miss $10 first wave. I missed $5 second wave. But that shouldn't have impeded them too much. Picking up that $8 there. Lucky I got that. We would have been a big miss if I hadn't. And we pass a wave. We do end up failing this wave. Gonna focus on the soldier here. Die in the process. Going to run back after I respawn to pick up some money that has been dropped, since it's basically only me picking up money. I was spread really thin this mission. We don't even die to a scout. I'm crazy, man. It was a soldier. This is just a soldier just walking back up. The team needed more damage, and I was just too preoccupied with money collection. But we're gonna start this next attempt of the wave around the same point where it fell apart. Gonna kill a scout. Gonna kill a soldier. And I'm gonna hop on the tank immediately. This time it dies a little bit quicker than before. It still makes it past the tunnel. Spy gonna stab me right before I drink my soda. But we kill the tank. The rest of the team has not fallen apart up there. We're gonna run back, pick up any money that the medics have dropped. It's really bad when somebody kills a medic and they don't pick up the money, because they tend to drop a lot of money, $10, $15, $20 at a time. The giants obviously drop a lot of money every time, so people will pick up that money, but the medics, I guess people don't really think about it. They drop a lot of money too. A big source of income, those medics are. But we're on the last bot of the wave, and we beat wave 3 with only one fail. Not that bad. A+ing the wave. Nobody giving me a pat on the back for that. They're quick to get angry when I miss money, but then when I do it perfectly, we get silence. Man, these people. A little rude, but We're on wave 4. We have 11 scouts. This is the one I was thinking of. This is where the scout just kind of slips by and drops a bomb off for free. Normally, when they have the bomb, they have X-ray on, but if the bomb is far forward, nobody sets a sentry on it or something, and the scouts run by and they don't get noticed, and they won't get X-ray until, you know, they're right there at the bomb pit. So that kind of thing can happen, but it is my job. I've always said that it's my job as a scout to be paying attention to those scouts and taking care of them. Engineer has a nest set up there, and our whole team just ignores it. They are not concerned at all with the sentry right there. Heavies teleport behind them, Ubered. They still don't care. They're still just going to let the Engie sit there. And there's the scout. Not the scout, a scout that I do notice. And the bomb is pretty far forward at that point, as you can see. And another scout runs by, picks up the bomb, and runs that rest of that little distance. So this next attempt at the wave, I will stick with these scouts. I will not leave their side. Money be damned, any damage be damned. I'm going to stick with these scouts. And I'm going to try and take care of the engineers too, because they will teleport the scouts about halfway through the map. And they'll be Ubered for a moment, so we gotta try and kill them. I'm getting pressured out a little bit by these heavies here, but I'm going to stick with the engineer as much as I can. He runs off into our heavies line of sight. Hopefully he died. I didn't really pay attention. The bomb far forward yet again. This is this wave at when you have a good team, you're normally just waiting at the front for the scouts to spawn, but this team just couldn't quite keep a lid on it for the most part. But by the end there, we were waiting at the front. Only missed $4 despite all that chaos. Not that bad. We're on wave 5. Gonna stick with the Criticola here. We're gonna take care of this tank whenever it rolls out. And it does roll out soon after the beginning of the wave. Drinking our Criticola, doing tons of tank damage. At this point, our team had swapped to 3 heavies, so I knew it was pretty important for me to stick with this tank no matter what. We have $99 up front, but I'm just going to have to ignore it. There is no chance 3 heavies were going to kill that tank before it got there if I was not on it. So sorry guys, I know your crippling debt is a problem, but I just can't afford it. We only missed $40 though. It's still enough to get a 50 credit bonus, and we're well into the end game of the wave. Everybody should have enough money to afford all the upgrades they need, especially Heavy. Heavy doesn't need many upgrades to be very effective. You know, you buy your firing speed, you buy ammo capacity, and you buy maybe crit resistance or explosion resistance, and you're chilling. You are just chilling. Health on kill too. Health on kill is really, really good on Heavy. It's good on every class, but I think particularly for Heavy because he lacks a lot of mobility and being able to dodge bots. We got the giant samurai demos coming in though, preceding Sir Nukes a lot. Gonna annihilate this giant burst fire demo, kill these last 2 samurai demos. Goodbye, brave soldiers. I love you. Now I'm going to treat Sir Nukes a lot like a tank. I'm gonna drink my cola, going to shoot him non-stop. This time, not dying to him, though the rest of my team does. Just gotta be a little bit evasive to avoid him. Don't die to him until the end so he can teleport me to spawn. Completely deliberate, I promise you. We are now on the final wave of this mission, which is just the 3 tanks, so we're gonna gloss over it. Just gonna kill 1 tank, 2 tank, and 3 tanks, and we're going to check out everybody's drops. Nobody getting anything special yet again. 2 cities has so far been my unluckiest tour for like even seeing drops. I don't know, was the other Australium I seen on 2 cities? We saw one on Steel Trap, we saw one on another tour. It might have been 2 cities, but yeah, nobody getting anything crazy. I haven't even seen any crazy pro kill streak fabs. This guy gets, what is it? A Vitasaw. That's just incredible. I can use that onto Groot Keep. That's awesome. Doing a lot of damage here though, 67,000 damage, 58,000 tank damage, out damaging most of the team, minus the one of the heavies and the engineer. I don't know how the engineer did 80,000 damage. He wasn't using the Widowmaker or anything. But we're running low on time here, so we're going to be a little bit quick with the final mission of the tour. This one is another easygoing one. We had a sniper and another player, Mike Penis. I don't know if people actually knew him. People were acting like they knew him. In game, I thought it was like just a joke, like, holy shit, it's Mike Penis. I don't know if, you know, but then now that I'm thinking about it, there might be a real player that people just know about. But I don't know. He was swapping classes throughout the wave. He was a really good player. But he's a good example of why I set the rules the way I did for this challenge, because you can just make everything so trivial in MvM when you can just swap classes and spam refund and always finding the path of least resistance. It's a lot more fun to me. I've had a lot of fun just setting limitations on myself, and at the end of the day, I think it makes me a much better player. So, you know, obviously Mike Penis is a pretty good player, but you know, if tomorrow they updated MvM and they removed a lot of these crutches that players rely on, like maybe they make crit canteens last shorter, or maybe they make one refund a mission, you know, he would lose a lot of his tools, but me, I would keep all of them. Now, obviously they aren't going to do anything to MvM to make it any harder. All they've done is make it easier with every update that it has received. Or have a little bit of trouble talking there, but it's mostly just the principle of it, you know, of setting limitations on yourself. And I kind of get why people will flame people who, you know, some people will flame you for swapping and refunding and doing all that kind of stuff. You're just doing too much, man. You're making MvM, you're giving it a bad name. People already associate it with gambling, and I don't see it that way. You know, obviously I love the drops, and drops are definitely part of the fun for me, but I also just love the game mode. And yeah, sure, I don't play it without the drops. You know, I play some community missions. I've played them before. I've never played boot camp, but I just very much love getting the drops. I very much love the game mode, and if you're just doing it with the intent of passing every mission in the easiest and fastest way, like, you might as well just open cases, bro. Open CS2 cases, open TF2 crates, because MvM is at its core a game mode. So, you know, but at the same time, you know, it's not my business to tell anybody how to play. So, whatever. Wave 3 here, we already have the soda popper maxed out. Sans ammo capacity, which you don't really need for DPS. You know, you kind of can use it. You know, you don't need to rotate the dispenser as much. But yeah, wave 3 maxed out. Soda popper is insanely cheap to upgrade. Almost too cheap for this challenge. I run out of things to spend my money on quickly. But it's also on me to be a little bit creative, so later on I'll take some of the excess money and I'll upgrade cooldown on the milk, and I'll upgrade cooldown on Criticola, and I can just keep those upgraded and swap between them, so I can just have my money in multiple places. I zoomed in on the money there. There was $10 on the ground. Somebody had killed a spy. Probably at spawn. I don't know exactly where it was, but I knew immediately I was not finding that money. There was nothing going on up front. There was no bots that got past anybody, so there was a spy killed somewhere. Like I said, probably at spawn, and I just knew that that money was not being found. This guy threatens my family's life anyway for missing out on $10 that I didn't really miss, but it's okay. I understand. I understand the mentality, bro. We're on wave 4 though. I'm gonna take care of this tank basically by myself. The other wave with the tank, the sniper hopped on it, Michael Penis. But now he doesn't really need to do that. He knows that I will be able to take care of the tank pretty quickly, along with the demo knight there, who did a surprising amount of work for being a demo knight. I don't know if he had a shield. I don't think he did. But all I ever saw him doing was running around with this skull cutter and just swinging things. He didn't make things any harder though. I'm gonna lay into these guys with my critical and my crit canteen. I need to get a name tag and name one of those that. The crit canteen. In a challenge that does not allow me to buy crits, we're gonna use a literal can as our canteen. But since we've have so much money, we're gonna get 2 movement speed upgrades now. Keep things keep things quick, but also keep them sensible. It's something I will experiment with on my own. You know, whether 1 movement speed is enough or 2. There's spies out, and this heavy is just acting absolutely like a spy. I don't know what he's doing, wandering around completely aimless. Maybe he was looking for spies, I don't know, but that guy faked me out. Doing a little bit of mobbing with the heavies whenever the sniper would allow it. He was hitting a lot of shots. At some points I thought he might have been cheating, but I'm pretty confident he wasn't. Because, you know, we were just able to kill so many of those bots up there. If he was cheating, we wouldn't have been able to kill a single one. Yeah, we complete wave 6 there. Looking for this last $5 so I can make everybody happy. Find it there in the little path. And here I will upgrade the milk cooldown some. And then I'll swap to the Criticola for the tank, and I will upgrade the Criticola right here, like this. Bam. Pretty happy with me figuring that out without anybody telling me about it or anything. Like, obviously it's something you can do. I'm sure people have done it before, but with the way I've structured this challenge, you know, it's a neat little way for me. If I'm using a cheap primary like the soda popper, I can just have multiple weapons that are partially upgraded that I can swap to at any time. And maybe I can even do that with my primaries as well. Like I said, if our team is struggling with uber medics, I can swap to the backscatter with 1 damage tick purchased and take care of those medics to the best of my abilities. Maybe it'll work out, maybe it won't. I'm learning a lot as I play Scout. I was surprised how much there was to learn about Scout. Obviously my MvM experience is somewhat limited. I only have like, I'd say almost 200 tours across all of them. So it's not like I've only played MvM for tens of thousands of hours, but you know, you'd think you'd learn everything there is to learn pretty quickly. Well, we finish here. Wave 6, we're on the final wave of the final mission. I was doing pretty good damage throughout the whole mission, but I'm struggling a little bit here on the end of it. The soldier, Michael Penis, is now deleting many of the robots. But there's still always a tank for me to kill. Even though Michael Penis could kill the tank, I think he wants to save his crit canteens for the giants, so he'll let me get most of the damage in on the tank. But the rest of these giants, I try to get some kills in though, but look, there he is, shooting a barrage of crit rockets down. And either I will die to these giants, or the giants will be killed for me. Me dying here, as an example, and Michael Penis finishing them off, really putting me to shame. But he's using the beggars, man. What am I supposed to do? He's using beggars and crit canteens. Look at that. That is just an outrageous thing. That's why I don't buy crit canteens. Even in my normal gameplay before I started this, I wasn't buying crit canteens. It is too stupid. And I also feel like I kind of waste money buying them, kinda. Because you'll use a crit canteen and you'll kill a bot and you'll have like 5 seconds of crits left. Like by the end of it, there's nothing else to use, and you've just deleted one bot that you could have killed normally. So I really don't see a point in them for the most part, unless your team's just struggling. But even then, just play better, guys. But we're on the last bot here. I get the final shot into him, and let's check out everybody's drops. This guy completing his tour, not getting anything. Hopefully, I can get something better than him. Here we are. Here we are. Michael Penis completing his tour as well. Bam, he gets nothing. And I also get nothing but an original Killstreak Fabricator, which is a pretty good one actually. That's a little bit more expensive than a normal one, but not quite going to recover the cost of this tour. Checking out my damage there at the end. Checking out our loot. We have a bunch of robot parts. We're going to put on some Killstreak Fists so we can put them into the original Killstreak Fabricator. But yeah, that's the end of the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for everybody's comments and likes and views. Really appreciate it. Hope you're enjoying this series. I'm having a lot of fun making it. But yeah, thanks so much to everybody. Hope you enjoy. See you next time on Gear Grinder. Bye now, everybody.